Hello fellow wet shavers, Brian here with the Wet Shave Experience. Today is Monday. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Start of the week for me. Today I will be using Noble Otter's Firefighter along with the matching splash. And then I will be getting my first use of, and I got it in pieces here, but the Haircut and Shave Company N075. If anybody saw my unboxing video, this is on loan to me from Shave 326. I got this recently and using it for the first time today. So I'm super excited to try that. He also sent me some Gillette yellow 7 o'clocks. So I'm gonna use that with this blade. I'm going to be using my PAA Aerolite brush for this. Kind of matches the theme here. And I will have my handy bowl and bowl lather. So this is a pretty cool release. You know, I have to admit, it's been sitting in my drawer for several days. I just got sidetracked with like Fern Boy week, and then I think Moon Soaps week, and then I got some other new stuff. And for one reason or another, this just sat there, which I don't know. I feel bad about, I guess. I don't know, or not feel bad, but just wish I'd used it sooner. So let's talk about this real quick. Awesome artwork on the label. I do dig Noble Otter's kind of simplistic yet really cool stuff that they do with how they dress the otter. Some cool flame work here. And so the scent on this is grapefruit, lavender, red cedarwood, water, sandalwood, and ambergris. It's a pretty good scent off the puck. I definitely get the cedar. Cedar wood is very strong in the background and the base. And I get a little bit of the grapefruit, so looking forward to trying that. This is the second time I bought a Noble Otter soap. So I bought Roar back when it came out, so I'm not super familiar with Noble Otter's products. You know, I've seen a lot of Shave of the Day shots up there with their stuff. I've always thought their labels were cool and everything else. So, you know, and the cool thing about this is that proceeds go to support the Red Cross and I think the Fallen Firefighters Foundation for obviously fallen firefighters. So that's great philanthropic work on Noble Otter's part as well, as part of the purchase of the soap and the proceeds. As someone who was very close to a fire here in Oregon, we personally were not in danger and didn't have to evacuate our home. But there was a fire not too far from us that was burning down river, and we were socked in here into the house, the smoke and the ash and everything else. We were definitely affected. My family was kind of pretty much stuck in the house. We tried not to go anywhere just because of the smoke and the smoke danger and the hazards with that. So we were like socked into the house. I think my kids didn't leave the house for almost a week. And we had the windows, you know, closed obviously, but I had taped up around the door frames. I had taped like the vents and the ceilings of the bathroom. We shut off or closed off the laundry room because smoke could get through the dryer vent, and then taped that off. So I mean, we did quite a bit. So anyways, totally appreciate the charity and philanthropic work behind this soap. So I will get this put in my bowl. This is the V3 base, but again, I'm really not that familiar with Noble Otter. I did buy Roar back when it came out in the summertime, and so I kind of got my dent out of there. So I just make a circle. I just scoop in a circle, and usually yields me about the same amount of soap. So anyways, I bought Roar back in the summer, and I honestly, that scent was not for me. I used it once and then I found it a new home. It was just too light, that one particularly for me. It was, I think, neroli and like, I don't know, geranium and I don't know what other flowers, but it was definitely white florally. And that was just too much for me. And my wife actually said it smelled feminine. And not that there's anything wrong with that. It just not personally for me. one that I was gonna keep. So I really wanted to like that because it really had a cool label and a really cool story, I think, with like the dad or something. I don't remember exactly, but anyways, but I just couldn't do it. So it a little bit reminds me of First Line Shaves Razor Ruby Undead, but in some ways, but the Razor Ruby Undead is done, I think, in a much more masculine way. And I really enjoy that one. So, all right, so I got my soap spread around the bowl and I'm gonna lather up and be right back. All right, everybody, we are back. And I have my lather built. There you go. Decent amount of volume out of that soap. But like I said, I am not super familiar with this base. And this is, I guess, a version 3, which I saw, I think John Latherhog, he did a video actually on this soap, and I don't know if he mentioned it in that video with this soap or a subsequent video referring back to this soap, that the V3 base was actually made more out of necessity to source different ingredients because of COVID and the impact on the supply chain and everything else. They had to switch some things up, not necessarily because they wanted to, so they didn't make a new base just for the sake of trying to make a new base. So not sure if that's true, but I have to believe John. He's a lot more in the know than I am. So, but anyways, that's what we got out of the lather. I initially wanted to use, I got my haircut and shave company razor put together. I don't know if you can, probably won't be able to show it to you on the camera and have you see it, but anyways, this is the N075, which is neutral blade exposure, and with a 0.7 millimeter gap. And anyways, I wanted to evaluate this razor with a base that I was really familiar with, but then I had this sitting in my drawer and I haven't used it, and I thought, well, you know, got to give it a try. But I was watching John's video. He was trying to evaluate a carbon razor, and he felt like he didn't get a great shave from the Noble Otter, more because he didn't lather it very well because he wasn't as familiar with the base, and that maybe he overhydrated it. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna wet the face, some warm water. And I have not shaved since Friday, so I've got, I've got 3 days growth going on here too. So the razor will have a challenge today. 3 days growth plus a soap base I have not used. The smell on this is pretty good. I remember reading some stuff from some folks that were a little disappointed in the scent strength, I think, on this. It's not strong. I mean, it's lighter. I'd say, you know, it's probably maybe a 4, pushing a 5 maybe, but I don't think it's like a 2 or a 3 on a 1 to 10 scale. I mean, it definitely has more scent going on than like the Duo did, the BBS Live Zingari Man release. So if you got that, that was way lighter in scent strength than this. But I definitely get it. It's kind of got a cedary sweetness to it. I'm picking up some sort of sweetness in the background. I don't know. I don't really get a lot of citrus. I mean, I know it has, I think, grapefruit and lavender. But I'm definitely picking up more of the cedar and sandalwood and ambergris in the base than I am getting the grapefruit and lavender on the top. It's there, but not heavy on those scents. I'm not sure what the sweetness is. Maybe it's I don't know. But I'm kind of digging it. All right, here we go. First use. Find the angle on this. I think there it is. I think maybe I could be a little more, you can see it's not as smooth. Maybe I could have been a little bit more hydrated in the soap. I don't know. Yeah. So we'll throw some more water on in the next pass. But yeah, definitely a thick lather there. I was super excited to try this though. I mean, Ken's go-to or GOAT, greatest of all time, is the P076, which is positive blade exposure. Which I'm not as into. Yeah, it's leaving too much soap behind, I think. And then this is, so this finger was wet when I did that, but this one is not wet, so not much residual slickness there. I felt that pull right there. I'm sure I got my angle right. All right. Yeah, let's put some extra water on the face and see. Get a little bit more water hydration in that. I think it was a little too thick or pasty, if you will. But I think I'm enjoying this scent actually. I also picked up Bar when I picked this up. So I have not used that yet. I'm looking forward to trying that. I like barbershops. It smells pretty darn good. Be super interested to smell it once I have it lathered up. I know that's kind of like a very popular barbershop that a lot of people really like. All right, let's try this. So I think this is the mixed metal version because it's got the black base plate on it. And I think when I was looking at them before online on Haircut and Shave Company's website, I think this is the mixed metal. It's got good heft to it. I feel like it's heavier than my Carve. But the handle's pretty comfortable because it's thicker right here. It's not, the knurling doesn't go all the way down, but I don't really need it to. And it actually fits kind of my fingers pretty good when I'm holding it. So I like the handle. I don't know if that sort of design was intentional, the way that they you know, shaped it to kind of hold your fingers, or if it's just aesthetic and it works out that way for the size of my hand. I will note on this top cap, I think I talked about it on my carve, but the top cap is wider than the carve. There is no tab of the blade sticking out at all. So it's flush right here. The blade tab, side tabs do not stick out of the top cap. So it's a wider top cap. So when I'm around my nose, I'm not worried about that top cap or the tab piece kind of hitting my nose. But what I am noticing is that the blade actually stops. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. You know, short of the side. So I'm actually having a harder time getting up in here because I need to get the blade up there, but there's a whole space right there where there's no blade at all. So yeah, so that's different. All right, let's go for pass 3. So Thanksgiving week this week, folks. I am off on Thursday, and it's going to be a small Thanksgiving this year. My sister and brother-in-law and grandmother were supposed to come up from the LA area. They're going to drive up on Wednesday and stay through Sunday. But those plans got nixed. Trying to get a little more of that water in here. Just soap in my lips. I always get it in my lips. Okay, let's just do a simple third pass. I think now that I added more water to it, it's a lot more slick. And putting that extra water on the face and then kind of getting that into the lather seems to have helped out. Still trying to find the angle. And all my passes here. I think I got it there. All right, I'm just gonna. So I'm gonna have to just kind of play with this and figure out how to best get my nose area with the blade stopping short of the end of the cap, because this part of my nose like sticks down a little bit, so kind of getting up and around it is sometimes difficult. And maybe that's it right there. Yeah, almost. There we go. There we go. All right, so I just got to play with it in that area a little bit. All right, let's rinse and be done. And I just realized I didn't do anything with my neck. Got so wrapped up in what was going on in my nose. But all I was going to do is some cleanup, so. There we go. There we go. All right. Slick enough. All right, cold water. Tighten up those pores. Okay. So overall, that felt pretty good. We'll see how the razor does the rest of the week. Short week, at least for me, as I mentioned. Hopefully for you too. Hopefully you're staying safe, but doing something with you're having a good Thanksgiving with your immediate family, or however that's working for you. Get the splash. Nice and some nice slickness in it. You know, I didn't look up any of the ingredients in their splash or in the soap in terms of like, you know, the butters and all that in the soap. So anyways, I think the soap performed well. I think I'm really digging the razor. I can't wait to continue to use it and continue to evaluate it. Again, thanks Shave326, Ken, for sending me that on loan. I think the Gillette 7 o'clock blade was good, but again, first use of this razor and that blade, so hard to compare it to anything for me personally. But overall, satisfied with Noble Otter. If you like wood, cedar, you know, sandalwood, and you don't like grapefruit and lavender all that much, don't let that scare you. It's not super citrusy. I can't pick it up a whole lot. I just get more of that woodsy background. So anyways, good cause, good soap, some really cool label art, and that's it for the day. So if you're new here and you made it this far and you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing below. If you made it this far and you've watched me before, I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Have a great day, folks.